a gunman opened fire on a bus carrying U.S. service members in front of Terminal 2 at Frankfurt Airport. At least 2 people have been killed. It's not clear whether both of them are American soldiers. Now, the police is saying that at least one person was also severely wounded in all this. The initial reports that the U.S. military is getting is that at least 2 people were severely wounded in this incident. They're also saying that apparently the U.S. service members who were killed and injured are U.S. Air Force airmen that were actually stationed in a base in the U.K. and that were on their way to deploy a quote-unquote downrange. It's not exactly sure where they were deploying, but they were going to fly or were coming from a commercial flight that was going in or out of Frankfurt Airport. One person, Jim, the U.S., the German police tell me, is in custody at this point, the apparent shooter, and the U.S. military says that it appears to be a young man of Kosovo nationality, Jim.
This young Kosovar, obviously no details about him, but what is known from your own experience, security at that airport?
Well, security at that airport has been considerably tightened up over the past couple of months because there have been a range of terror threats that the German authorities took very, very seriously against installations here in this country. Of course, airports were among those that had the highest security. So there would have been in that area a lot of German federal police walking around there, a lot of German police with light automatic rifles armed, and that certainly seems to be the indication that this shooter at least was stopped very, very quickly, if indeed he made it onto that bus with the U.S. service members. So yes, security has been really tightened over the past couple of months, but also that airport, Jim, is one that is very frequently used by U.S. service members to get back home from deployments, also, of course, to get to deployments. There are, of course, also a lot of U.S. service members who are stationed in Germany, so it is quite a frequent sight to see American military personnel go in and out of that airport. Whether or not the shooter knew that, whether or not the shooter was looking for that, of course, at this stage is still very much unclear, Jim.
As our sister network, CNN USA, has joined us, Americans concerned certainly for their service members in Germany right now. There's quite a number of them that use that the airbase that is right there. And Fred, if you can recap what has happened.
Certainly, absolutely. Again, we're getting our information both from the German police that's on the scene, as well as the American military that's obviously also in touch with German authorities. They are now telling us, this is new information that I'm getting, that apparently the shooting didn't happen outside the bus. He didn't open fire outside the bus into the bus. He opened fire while he was on the bus. So the shooting happened on the bus. 2 people are confirmed dead. Not clear whether or not both of those were in fact U.S. service members. One of them appears to be the driver of the bus, and it's not clear whether or not he's a German national or in fact also U.S. service members. 2 people wounded. At least one of them is critically wounded. And also, as I said, the person who's in custody right now for that shooting, the alleged shooter, appears to be a young man in his early 20s from Kosovo, and those killed and injured, at least the ones that we can confirm are U.S. service members, were U.S. Air Force airmen who are actually normally stationed at a U.S. air base in the United Kingdom and who were on their way to deploy somewhere, quote-unquote, downrange. So it's not clear whether or not they just arrived or whether or not they were just getting to the airport, but they were, in fact, using a commercial flight to deploy somewhere, possibly back to the U.K.